Hi, welcome to Wikipedia Weekly, the Biodiversity edition. This is, I think, our fourth edition now, and today we have a guest, which is Paul Braun from the Natural History Museum in Luxembourg, and we will be diving into a very nice species observed in iNaturalist, and we will hopefully be writing Wikipedia article in various Wikipedias, but primarily on the Luxembourg Wikipedia. As with, maybe do a first of round introductions. Let's start with Paul. How can you say a few words about yourself and your work? And
yeah, sure. Well, thanks first for inviting me to this evening. And I'm Paul Braun from the Natural History Museum in Luxembourg. My job is a digital creator in the museum, so I mainly do digitization of specimens. But I'm also the site admin of iNaturalist Luxembourg, so that's also a big part I do. So this year we established iNaturalist.lu, so we became a member of the network, and it's a work I like to do, doing a bit of citizen science, doing observations, and I'm also quite passionate about it. Yeah, so a week ago or so, I think Andra contacted me and asked me if I was interested in joining the meeting and maybe trying to write an article about a species that does not yet have an article. So I went to iNaturalist and I tried to find a species that didn't have any or no English and no Luxembourgish article, and so I found one, and I think it's quite interesting and will raise a few issues tonight that we will try to fix. And yeah.
A few issues is an understatement. It's a very exciting, friendly use case. And I don't think Jan and Siobhan need any introduction, but if you don't know them, well, you have the time. Jan, can you elaborate?
Yes, just quickly, a long-time Wikimedia user, now mostly active in the Wikimedians for Sustainable Development, and I stream a lot.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Siobhan. I'm a New Zealand Wikipedian. Well, Wikimedian, really. I spend a lot of time doing Wikidata, but also English Wikipedia articles on mainly species. Very much interested in biodiversity. That's where I tend to do most of my work.
Yeah, and I'm Andra Waagmeester. I've been active on, I think, Wikidata since 2014 in various capacities, but in this specific context, actually, I think it was during Wikimedia in 2018. And we observed that quite some of the Wikimedians are also active on the iNaturalist, community. And since then, we started back then it was the wiki project iNaturalist, where we're trying to leverage the content from iNaturalist on various Wikimedia platforms and vice versa. I mean, it's worth noting that iNaturalist, if you go to any iNaturalist observation and you go to the About page, you will see that there is the Wikipedia, the Wikipedia content is being used to describe the species being observed in iNaturalist. And that Wikidata project, Biodiversity, maybe if you can share my screen, I can briefly dive into this. And I have the Wiki project Diversity, has a landing page, is Wikidata Wiki project Biodiversity. And as said, started as iNaturalist, but now it extends to other platforms. And we have some tools that streamline the contents in both directions. And we presented a poster earlier last year that basically depicts the pipeline. So we have anyone observing the biodiversity around us with handheld devices that is uploaded to iNaturalist, which is then annotated and curated by the community. That is being shared to GBIF, and then us as Wikimedians then can use the content, provided some licensing issues, which we should not dive in here today, but then can be reused in those various Wikimedia platforms. And so before we dive in, you are all invited to join us in writing while we're doing it. This is going to be more a hands-on session in contrast to the previous broadcast due to the very exciting, complex nature of the species that has been selected. You can communicate with us through the chat channels in the socials. I believe that's YouTube and Facebook, where you are watching us. And now, if I haven't forgot anything, then let's dive in and present the species we're going to be discussing today, which is the Taxonura muliebris. I have on my screen. You now see the observations that are stored in iNaturalist, and as you can see, one of the features. This is unfortunately only on the English iNaturalist and not with the other Wikipedias. But if there is no species in, if there is no article, since the iNaturalist relies on descriptions from Wikipedia, there is a nice template on iNaturalist that allows you to start to start the article in the English Wikipedia article. So our pipeline until now was typically that we take this template and we start a Wikipedia article. Then we select an image from iNaturalist in Commons to enrich the Wikipedia article, and then update Wikidata with structured data on the species selected. Today, due to the nature of the species, where there exist synonyms, we will turn it around. So we start with Wikidata, and then we'll come back to starting both the Wikipedia articles in Luxembourgish and in English. And everyone is invited. Jan and I will try to follow in Dutch and Swedish, but the focus today is English and Luxembourgish. And anyone who is watching, please join us in any Wikipedia editions. Let's put this little insect on the globe. Okay, so we're now going to dive in with the Wikidata, and we have agreed that I will be doing the editing in Wikidata, but Siobhan will be leading me. So Siobhan, you have the floor.
Okay, well, for a start, there's actually, this species has 3 Wikidata items, 2 of which are synonyms, one of which is the current correct name. But the fact that there's 3 items relating to it, and they all appear to be the same, relating to the same species, but different names, is what's causing not confusion, just it needs sorting out. Now, do you want to have? I'm going to put the link of the paper that we're actually relying on into so you can pull that up. I'll put it in the chat.
Yes.
So that's the actual source from the Entomological Society that actually published it. And I think we should probably start, because this is the paper we're relying on, and it's the most recent publication, and deals with the fact of all these synonyms, and gives the current name and supplies supporting evidence for that. We should probably start by putting that into Wikidata to start off with.
That being this link,
that's the paper. Yeah, there's also a ResearchGate one as well, which will link to it, which I'll put in the chat, to our chat, so that you can link to that too. That'll need linking in the Wikidata item too. But the problem with this particular paper is that it doesn't have a DOI that I could find. I've tried. I'm pretty sure Jan has shown you in previous episodes how to get use Zotero to get a Wikidata markup that you could then put into quick statements and upload into Wikidata via quick statement. Unfortunately, when I tried to put this paper into Zotero, Crossref doesn't have the metadata, and the metadata from the page is crap. So we're having to do this manually, old school.
Okay, well, a bit unfortunately, and maybe we should use the opportunity to emphasize the need for DOIs. But
Would have made our lives much easier.
So okay, so I will be. So that I guess is, should we check? I guess whether it really doesn't exist.
Double check. Yeah, double check, because I did check a few days ago. Someone might have jumped in on it and done it for me, but just double check that it's not there.
So a European fly to North America. No, it's okay. Then I'm going. No, we won't get a paper. It's only the species up.
Yeah.
There is nothing. So I think it's safe to say that. Well, we can always merge later.
Yeah. One of the options is also to use the tool Gradle, which if no one, there's a. I'll put the again link so you can link to it. This is the tool that allows you to, it basically holds your hand when you're creating a manual item. And there's I think it's a publication, I can't remember what it's called. I'll just scroll down and see which one it's called. Someone's done a template that tells you how to periodical article. There you go. And it just holds, if you have never uploaded manually a scholarly article before, this, I'll put the actual link to the periodical article there so you can pull it up. You can, just scroll down, it's under periodical and there's 3 ones and one of them's articles. And it just holds your hand.
Here's the thing I missed twice on stream before. It's you need to log in before you do anything, because if you're starting to add stuff and then log in, it will lose all your edits before you save it. So start with logging in when you're using Gradle.
That's a good point. So, and you log in by in the right corner, and since I am already logged in on a Wikimedia account, I will just have to allow it. If you're not, the user name that you need to use is either the Wikidata or the Wikipedia, which is basically the same. So that's it. Okay.
And then you can just scroll down, and it's periodical article.
They actually have this. I didn't know.
Yeah. And I'm quite proud of the scientific collector, because I did that. It's to the nth degree, but I spent a lot of time working on what I wanted in a scientific collector Wikidata item, if possible. And it's,
So basically we can just copy paste now from the article, right?
Yeah.
So what's the title here? Is that European flight new to North America?
No, the whole thing will be the title. Yeah.
Okay. So then I will hope copy paste goes well.
Now I did actually get.
Let's see if paste. Yes. I guess we don't need a label. What's the description?
I normally, Andra, when I do it, I normally do put a label just because I'm like that. I normally put things like article published and the particular date. And I'm just finding you the Wikidata items for the authors so that we don't have to do that.
Yeah, they're in there.
Yeah, I know. I've checked and I've disambiguated all their publications already. I did that previously, so that's one of them.
Can you add references with Gradle?
Oh, now I don't know. No, according to Jan,
you'll have to go back later and do that. So you do one big edit first, and then you come back and polish it.
Okay. Yeah, I can be quite pedant when it comes to references. So, the article, is that scholarly article?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, this is a reference in itself. It will be dead's end if you're going to have references for all the references in the references.
Well, actually, it's a good point. Sorry, you've touched the nerve here, because depending on the source where this is coming from, so sometimes you get a reference from PubMed or from Crossref, and if there is an edit, you want to know if this edit was due to edit in Wikidata or that there is an error in the source. So that's why I always advocate for, no matter what, put in a reference. Well, this is a difficult one, because how would you reference the actual article? We didn't get it from one of those DOI servers. So yeah, I don't know the answer here, but anyway.
It's got a ResearchGate link that you can add to it later, and I would use that as the reference, because it's the same thing. I've checked.
So
I'll just get Joel Gibson's Wikidata item.
It's called a scientific note. Do we use that as instance of type, or do we use scholarly?
No, scholarly article. Scholarly article.
Then that's selected. Genre, no. Main subject is, let's do the main subject. Let's do this.
Then the author, you can put in, I've put in the chat, our chat, the 2 Wikidata items for the 2 authors. The first one I've put is the first author, and the second one I've put is the second author. But we can sort that out later once it's in.
You created did you create the item for the author, or did the author already?
The items already existed. They're scholarly. They're entomologists that are already in Wikidata.
That's great. So we do yes, and then another one being, you had a second one.
Yeah.
Is Joel Gibson.
That's it.
So since they are in there, we don't need the author name string, right?
No.
Then we repeat the title, but now as structured text. Because let's see, we do that there. Title. Okay. Do we have a
English?
English.
Don't worry about the subtitle. Yeah, just English.
English.
And place of publication. I'll just get the. It's the Journal of the Entomological Society of British Columbia.
Journal of the Entomological
Society of British Columbia. Hopefully it'll come up. I haven't checked that. I didn't check to see whether that journal's actually in Wikidata.
I'm just going to copy it.
It's short. No. You'll be lucky. I'll see if I can find it for you.
Okay.
No.
Where is my? Where is my help? Did I? No. Here it is.
Yeah, got it. Okay, I'll put the Wikidata item in the chat for the journal.
Okay.
And I'll actually go and put the abbreviation for the journal. Oh no, why didn't that work? Maybe it's because it's already there. It's possible because it was in capital letters.
The publication date. And I would actually, for the sake of time, argue we have the minimum so we can later complete this, right?
Yeah, just do it and I'll sort it out.
Maybe where should we do the research gate? That's URL, but I don't see the URL mentioned.
Yeah, I'll add it.
We'll add that later. So now I push create item. And did that happen?
I think it did.
I don't know. It did. Did it?
So check your contributions on Wikidata.
Yeah.
I cannot yet find it with the search.
No, that may take a few minutes.
Okay, so we have it here now. There. Okay. So what's next?
Can you tell me what the item? Here we go. Q 1074000802. Okay.
It's in the chat.
Yeah. Cool. Thank you.
Speaking of the chat, if you are watching this, as just as a reminder, you can also reach out to us.
I would then go to the correct species name Wikidata item and use that reference for statements that we're going to add. Well, just to reference the statements there, so that the latest literature is actually referencing the statements.
What's the correct taxon?
I will put it in the chat. Double checking myself because it's not easy. Just double check that's the V one, not the U one.
Okay, taxon family.
Yeah, that's the correct name according to the most up-to-date scholarly literature we've got. And there's also, I will try and pull up the thing that we're actually
relying on. So we can actually say, if it goes, why isn't it add reference? We can ask, oh, I was too fast.
You stated as, and just, yeah, stated in rather.
Taxon. Okay.
Okay, and the other one I want you to list in there too as a reference, I will just put it in the chat, is this one, because these are the two. Well, this is the main one that it relies on for that particular scholarly article. This is the
this diptera.org. You mean? Let me put it to the screen. This one?
Yeah, that's the one that the scholarly article actually relies on to say that this is the correct name of the species. This is the source it uses, along with a book.
We have a little request here from the chat. Can you zoom in a little bit? All right, thank you.
Cool.
So
yeah, so that's
as a second reference.
I'd like it, yeah, a URL one, and just do reference URL and reference that URL, just so that we've got stuff there that points them to the right information.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay.
And I guess we have, and we will do this as well later, but just we need to replicate this for all the statements.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and then also this one, reference. No. It should be another reference.
Yeah.
Separate thing to that.
Yeah,
wow.
And then
didn't find it.
That's a bit bizarre. Create new items. Maybe it's lagging.
The cache.
Yeah, sometimes it does take a while. So yes, there you go. You just have to use the QID.
Okay.
Okay. So the other thing I was sort of wondering was whether that Diptera website or actually has a property. The one that we were using for the nomenclature details. Does anyone know whether that has an actual property or not? Because then we could add it below if it does, as an identifier.
The property for the what? For the
diptera.org. So the just I didn't think to check before we came up. No, okay, it's not there. So just ignore that suggestion then. Okay. So we've given back up to the fact that this is the correct name according to these two sources. Now we've got to go away and deal with the two synonyms. And this is the area where I start getting into things that I just don't know how to do properly. I need guidance from other people in Wikidata. And I'll show you what I do, but I'm very happy to get guidance from anyone if they don't like what I do or think there's an improved way of doing it. So
that's the case. Please do that. You can directly do that. That's because the power of Wikidata. So
yeah. So you just go in and edit and correct it. This is the synonym. I will put it in the chat again so you can go to it.
Yes. Moving that. Okay.
So, for those who don't know, this is where a synonym is basically a scientific name for a species that scientists have decided isn't correct anymore and have now moved on from and use a more appropriate name for the species. But they're still really important because, of course, they link to literature about that species. So we don't want to merge these items. We want to keep this taxon name. It's very important to keep this taxon name. But I want to indicate on this taxon Wikidata item that it's actually a synonym. And the way I normally do it is, see it where it says instance of, I add a value and I put the word synonym. And you've got to be careful because there's lots of, there we go. One of two or more scientific names given to the same taxon is the one you want to use. Then that's, hang on, wait. Because if you look, you've also got as used in zoology and as used in botany. So first off, which one do we use? I normally use one of two or more scientific names given to the same taxon, but I don't know which one's more appropriate. Any thoughts?
Is there anyone in the audience who has some thoughts on this?
Well, not botany.
No.
No, that's one we can rule out. Considering we're dealing with an insect. Paul, do you have any thoughts on this?
Not really. I checked the synonym. It does have taxon synonym, and then that's the 1420.
Okay, that's 1420. Okay, let's just see if that's Q1420. I'm assuming is the property you're talking about.
No, the property, I guess.
Yeah. Sorry.
Now here it says, what do the items themselves say? So if we go to the actual items and see, do they have any?
That's an idea. Okay.
There is the taxonomy. Someone added that, but this one. So that taxon synonym is already in. I'm going to publish this.
Yeah, then that confuses me because I thought that was taxon synonym relates to. Can we go look at that property? Because I thought that meant that the one with the V is the synonym, not name listed as synonym of a taxon name. So I would actually put that property on the original, the one we were dealing with first, the real name, the one. I would put that property on the real name and link it to the synonym.
I agree with you there.
Okay.
So it's not a two-way.
Yeah. So
but there is an exclamation mark. Let's see what
no, it's not a two-way thing. It's saying the synonym. This one's real. Well, it's not real. I don't have the language for this. This one's the one that's appropriate, that's current, and these are the ones on the current property. These are its synonyms. These are the ones that aren't current. So that there is twisted round. I would put that, taxon synonym. This is the way I do it. Again, I'm no expert. Please correct me. Perfect. And then and press publish. And you can also
back. Okay. The thing is,
go back.
There is an exclamation mark. Then we're going to remove this one.
Yeah.
There is an exclamation mark that says we need a reference.
Which you can do stated in the paper that we've just added, because that's what it's.
But I didn't read the paper. Did the paper produce this text? Okay, in that case, we can indeed.
That's why I wanted the paper added to Wikidata to start off with. Certainly did.
Okay, cancel. So where were we? Add reference.
Yeah, just stated in. Yeah.
Still not. So let's add that.
It can take a while for that to. There we go. Perfect.
Okay, so we have that. Okay.
Yeah. So go back to the synonym, the U, the one with the U.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Have you removed the statement?
I removed it. Let's double check.
Yeah,
So
perfect. That's great.
taxon, synonym,
Okay.
no, nothing.
Yeah, beautiful. So, when the problem with this is that we've still at the moment, or if you go up to the instance of, what I'm wanting to do is to show on this particular item that this is a synonym. Most people, or some people, not most, some people think it's sufficient, or appear to, from what I've investigated on Wikidata, appear to think it's sufficient just to put that statement on the current name that this item is just a synonym and leave it there. But I think that's quite confusing, because especially when we've got bots going around and generating articles in automatically in some Wikipedias, if you don't indicate that this is a synonym on this particular item, you run into problems of bots generating multiple articles in certain Wikipedia, certain language Wikipedias, and the articles relate to the synonym and not to the correct name of the species. Do you understand what I'm saying, Andra? So
yeah, I'm just thinking, how would that fix that? Do you imply we should remove the instance of taxon and then leave it synonym only?
No, because it's still a taxon. It's just no longer. Sometimes scientists will come along and reinvigorate this particular name. They'll say, no, previous scientists wrong.
Yeah.
Found things that say this name's correct. So it's an ongoing thing. So I never get rid of the taxon thing. What I do is I say synonym and then I edit it.
Synonym, this one you mean, edit, yes?
Yeah, edit. I put and add a qualifier. And I put of, and I know people hate the of property. So if anyone can work out a better way of doing this, I'd be really grateful. But I put of, and then I put the appropriate scientific name for the species in there. Now that's just how I do it. And then I make sure it's referenced with what the most current piece of scientific literature. I never make that statement. Well, I very rarely, because I'm sure there have been instances when I've been in a hurry, but I very rarely make that statement without referencing it to the particular piece of literature. So then people can, if it is reinvigorated and no longer a synonym, it's regarded as the correct name, which does happen sometimes, people can go in and update that and again reference it.
Okay.
Right. That we're not finished, because there's another synonym. Under English Wikipedia, this particular species is also known.
One important thing to do on this item still, and it's moving the site link.
Which site link?
The one in the bottom that
Dutch Wikipedia.
Dutch Wikipedia. So this one should be moved to. You don't have the move gadget, so just remove it, and I'll add it on the other one.
But can I just simply do it in Wikidata? Just remove it and then add it to the site link?
Yep.
Okay. So I will remove this.
You know, that's interesting. I wouldn't have done that until I fixed the Wikipedia article.
Say that again?
So as a workflow thing, I wouldn't have removed that Wikipedia article link from there to the new name until after I'd done the work in the Wikipedia. I mean, it's just
chicken or the egg. If you change it to Wikipedia when it has the wrong link to Wikidata, it's
yeah.
I'm
just like my normal workflow when I'm trying to sort this stuff out is I fix Wikidata, then I go into whatever language Wikipedia, for me it's English, sort out the Wikipedia article, do the redirects in the Wikipedia, and then come back to Wikidata and sort out Wikidata. But because I don't like it when, because I'm a purist, I don't like it when the species name is wrong. The link has not all the right species names on the actual.
Maybe I should make it homework then to fix this today after. Oops.
Is there a reason? If you do that, could you generate reports to say this? You've got the wrong species name on via Wikidata.
So we see the error message you got.
It says that it's already being used. I think this is a caching issue because I did remove it from the other Wikipedia.
Right. Yes. All right.
So, let's see if.
Oh no, Paul fell out.
Oh, I see he'll come back.
I'm back. Sorry.
Yay!
I refreshed.
Hi, Paul.
Well,
We lost you.
okay, I'm gonna try it again. No.
Oh.
It's still on the other one. I will remove it. Maybe you didn't. You clicked the basket bin and you didn't click publish. Maybe.
Okay.
Now
okay,
it should be gone. We try again.
Yes.
There we go.
Yeah. Now, Jan, you can tell me this, hopefully. See how the Wikipedia list has 4 language Wikipedias, and one of them now is the Dutch one is the wrong name.
Mm-hmm.
Is there reports or anything like that, queries you can do that will pull up information on this type of, it's not really an error, but it would inform people's editing. Do you know? Could you do that?
Yeah, well, you can
okay,
just do a Wikidata Sparkle query to see which ones are different. And I guess for species, it might make sense unless they have common names, because in Swedish we always use the common names as the article on Wikipedia.
Yeah.
So that would varies across language versions. So but for many species, there are no common names in most languages.
So that in that case, I think that's probably a good idea. That might change my workflow a bit, just in anticipation, in case someone actually is doing work via Sparkle queries to pull up a report or information as to what needs editing. So it might be, I think probably on the basis of that, I actually do prefer doing it your way now. Okay, we could just leave it like that and move on to Paul's Luxembourger English Wikipedia, and we can sort out the rest of Wikidata later.
There was also another synonym, right? Or are the similar?
There is, but it'll just be repeating stuff, and I want Paul to have a go.
Yeah. So what I propose to do is that I now go through our usual pipeline, which means starting the English Wikipedia article, and then we will leave it as a very small step now, and then add that to Wikidata. Then from there, start the Luxembourg Wikipedia. Does that make sense? Or because I would like to demonstrate the imaging that we get from we get from iNaturalist.
But there already is one on English Wikipedia.
There's a English Wikipedia article already, but under the name of the synonym. So I was going to just move that over in the editor.
Okay, in that case, I won't go then the only thing that I would like to demonstrate is how the pipeline on to get images from iNaturalist to comments, and then afterwards we will fix this English Wikipedia article. And so what I am thinking of, let's go to comments. There is no link yet there. So it's the same thing, comments. Do we start with the
I'm pretty sure there's a category in Wiki Commons for this. I'm just not sure it's linked to the Wikidata item.
No, I don't think so.
It is linked to the Palaptera muliebris, the Palaptera synonym.
There's actually 2 categories in Wikidata. I'm just not sure which one. I know. It's like I said, this is a can of worms. This particular species.
This is very realistic.
One under the last I checked. Oh goodness! Now this is where my dyslexia comes in. Maybe it might be the U then.
The correct name, I think, has one category, but with one image, and the other one has one with a lot of them, I think.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly.
But it doesn't show. So what did I do
Hang
wrong?
on. I don't know. Give me a second and I'll see if I can find it for you. Because there was a category. Might be under the synonym name. Let me find it.
So we not only need to fix the synonyms in Wikidata, we need to model it in Commons as well, right?
Yeah, it's a mess. Yeah.
Yeah, it's under the synonym Proloptera.
Yeah.
Chat.
I'll get you the link.
I have it here.
It's in the chat. No.
I'm sure I found one. I'm sure I found another one. I'll have to see if I can find it.
Okay, but the iNaturalist user script doesn't show, which probably means two things.
That's because it's a synonym. I know. This is why it needs sorting out.
Okay.
Is it not because this item doesn't have the iNaturalist species ID?
I will check.
It's possible, but the species ID and iNaturalist will be relating to the particular correct name, if I remember correctly. And so it links to that Wikidata item for the correct name. And so when the script comes along to try and pull the species name out and you're using it for a category that's under a different name, it won't work. So what you really need to do is move the category to the correct species name, and then link it back in that category to the correct species name in Wikidata, link everything up beautifully, and then the script should actually work so you can pull in images from iNaturalist.
But then does it make sense to go back to taxonomy and then create that category on, or would that add to the mess?
I think it'll add to the mess myself. I wouldn't do it.
Okay. Okay, then you all need to trust me that it really goes smoothly. If the taxons are nicely modeled in Wikidata and Commons, it is a very nice button, but
yeah.
I guess we have to do it old-fashioned manually editing now. I think it's not fine because there are already quite some some content in Commons. So
yeah, it looks to me like some of the stuff in Commons already under the old synonym, the other old synonym that Commons. There's about 10 or 15 really nice images, especially the wings, which are diagnostic for the species. The patination on the wings is how you tell it is what it is. It's quite distinctive.
In that case, should we just dive into the beautiful language of Luxembourgish?
Yeah.
We can try to, yeah.
And we'll reassure everyone we will sort this out. I promise. I'll spend this afternoon working on it.
And it's also a shout out to anyone watching this to help us.
Please. Yeah.
Yes, so I hope you can guide me a bit with creating the article, because I think I have edited some articles, but I've never created like a whole new one, especially this, species one. So basically I added the name now, and then I would create the article. So if ever I'm doing something wrong or you would do it otherwise, please tell me, let me know. So I did create already a bit of content for it. I just copied from another species basically to get the structure and the info box, and I tried to populate it with all the things that I could find, and translated this text that you already did in English. And I tried to add the references, but there's still things that I don't think are working very, very properly. So I'm just pasting stuff in and just see what comes out, and you can tell me.
Yeah, Can you show me the visual? Press
Yeah,
the little
sure.
pencil and show me what the visual looks like, and then wander down to the references just so I can check the references.
Yeah, so references, I use the visual editor, so it's quite limited, I think, in the Luxembourgish one. So that's yeah.
That looks okay to me.
So basically, I pasted in text. Usually for
the only
most
one
of
I'd
them.
change is number 7,
Mm-hmm.
and would use. I mean, I'd use CiteQ there. I don't know. Does the CiteQ template work on Luxembourger?
No, as a side note, CiteQ, that's something you need to check, because, for example, in the Dutch Wikipedia, there is no CiteQ. So that is very specific for language versions.
Okay.
So I would add it, basically cite, and then it would show up here, or where would I find it?
No. CiteQ is a template in Wikidata that takes a Wikidata QID and then populates the reference from Wikidata. Whereas here, the reference is being built in the Wikipedia itself. But yeah, this is indeed the reference being added to the visual editor.
Yeah.
The benefit of using CiteQ is that you're also helping building the citation graph in Wikidata, whereas now it just sits in the Luxembourgish Wikipedia only.
No. So, but with this function, is it available or not for the Luxembourgish one? I guess not.
That's a good question.
How would I find out?
Just do it. I'll get you the code. Hang on. Give me 2 seconds and I'll find the. What are we wanting? Get that one.
So maybe in the meantime, I tried to fill out also the species info box. The problem I ran into, it was somehow with synonyms. It doesn't really work. I think it hasn't really been done before. So I was able to add the field for synonyms. Yeah, but it doesn't seem to be translated, and it gives me something that's not too correct, I think. So I think this species info box is not a very good version in the Luxembourgish wiki.
No, you might want to check with the taxon. I think it's taxon box, because the species box has some rules in place, but there is an alternative template. But then you need to add every single class to the taxonomy.
Yeah, so this is one where I had to do it. So it's info box animals. There was another info box plants. And I didn't find one taxon. I have to check again. But so here I had to populate everything. So that was the only way I could do it. So I didn't find. I saw in the English one there is the functionality that you can populate higher levels automatically. But here I couldn't find it for the Luxembourgish one. I don't think it might simply not be there.
I think maybe someone who is more active on Wikipedia, it is possible to copy templates between language versions, but that's a community decision that needs to be done by the Luxembourgish Wikipedia community. Related to that, I searched on Google for CiteQ and then and I got a response which is called module WDT I will share the link as well. The document suggests that this is, I actually don't know what this WD module is on the Luxembourgish Wikipedia. It seems to be related to the module WD. Property. No, forget about it. This has nothing to do with CiteQ.
Yeah, I haven't been successful working out whether you can actually use it. What I am doing is trying to improve it so that if we can, normally, I'll just put in chat.
So here I also added a link to the Wiki Commons. I saw that on other species pages, the structure was like this, so I added this. And the only thing now is still missing is a picture. I guess I can paste in the link here, but I haven't decided on which picture, and I think I can do this afterwards, maybe.
Oh, you can have a look now. Decide which one you think looks nice. I mean, that's one of the things I do when I'm, one, you want the most attractive image, but you also want the one that's going to help the people identify the species that they're observing in iNaturalist. And I also am biased towards the images. I mean, I go on the best looking one, like the third one in is beautiful.
Yeah.
And if there's a male and a female and they're different, I'll add 2 images to the taxon box. And then I also am biased towards the most openly licensed image. So if it's CC0 and it's really pretty, that's my go-to. I've just put in the chat oh damn it! Ignore what I've just put in the chat. It's badly formatted. I'll just correct the format before I give it to you. So that's what we say when it's site Q. If in the source editing, that second one that I've put in our chat might work as a reference to the original publication that we're basing our work on. I just don't know whether it's going to work. So you can put it in and test it and see whether it works.
And I paste it up here, I think now in the wrong place, but
no, it doesn't work.
It doesn't, no.
Okay, so yeah, ignore that, just get rid of that. That's good for you to know, and hopefully for someone to work on.
Oh, looks nice.
It does look nice. It generates a beautiful reference normally.
Yeah.
And the nice thing is, of course, if Wikidata's updated, like someone, you may have a name string, for example, in Wikidata instead of a link to an author QID. If someone then updates there, it's updated automatically in your article. That's what's great about it. And if someone writes a Wikipedia article about the particular author, it's updated again. And that's added to Wikidata. It's a really revolutionary way of doing citations. I love it. It's such a pretty looking fly. It's pretty.
Awesome.
I guess we still have to edit the new page to the wiki data item.
Yep. So if you go back, if you get the Wikidata item up, which is, I'll try and find the right one.
I think I have closed that one now.
Hang on, I'll put it in the chat for you. There you go. Oh, did I put it in the chat? You did it. No, I didn't.
Yeah, seems to be the correct one.
Okay. Yep. Beautiful.
Okay, great.
Fantastic. And it's a nice looking article.
And all the languages pop up.
Yeah,
nice.
really nice.
Still some missing, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
Well done.
I guess we have some work still ahead, but it's awesome to have a Luxembourgish Wikipedia article in there.
Yeah.
That's great. But yes, I've got a lot of work to do.
I actually made a nice thing to watch, to see now. I don't know, does iNaturalist have the Luxembourg as a language?
Yeah.
Because then the Luxembourgish Wikipedia articles should show.
Should, cross fingers.
Yes. But you need to change, because I see your page is in English.
Yeah.
So you need to change in settings to
It should work usually.
Let's see.
Take some time. I don't know if that's a good sign. Yeah. Just
Yay!
Yay!
nice.
That's brilliant.
I had one question about the article. You put the category for the species. I think usually we put the category for the yeah.
Honestly, I don't know how this came about. Might be that
it's automatic.
Yeah, could be automatic, but you can actually go in and change it.
I think this was automatic because I didn't.
So what you should do is just take out the second part of the species name. No, I see what you mean. Put a pipe in between the genus and the species name, and hopefully that should fix it.
Yes.
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 Yeah, hopefully. Let's see if I don't know whether it will work in your Wikipedia, but that's what we'll see. Well, there's no category for the genus either.
So.
So
I see.
So
but I guess it generated automatically because I surely didn't.
No, okay.
One thing that I typically add, but only also in the English Wikipedia, is I add the author as a category. So taxon name.
You mean the Morris was his name, wasn't it? Let me look. Of course we didn't put it in the.
But
sorry, Harris, not Morris.
It's
Harris. Probably Morris Harris or something like that. Who the original author upon whom we are basing all this, who originally described it. So let me see.
So we'd create a new category here. I think it was Moses Harris. That's how I wrote in the article.
Yeah. I'm just trying to find the original description somewhere. First description, there it is. I'll just double check that. But actually, it just takes a little while to warm up so I can get the original. Too long. Also, that original description has a beautiful old plate of illustrations, and it's in Flickr, and so we can easily upload it to Wikicommons if we need to, because it's very pretty. I love my old scientific illustrations.
Should we let you share your screen, and then let's do that? So
Okay.
Flickr.
Okay. Yeah. I'll just get it up. Get out of that. Okay, and I will. Okay. I am sharing my screen. Sorry, I'll go back. So this is it, and I can't remember. It was number 9, I think. One of these lovely things. I think. Oh, now I'm doubting myself because none of them look like it.
I think I remember it's number 9.
It is number 9.
Yeah.
Okay. So this one doesn't look anything like it. Anyway, let's go up. I'll open. Have I got category? Yeah, I'll just go to the main page. And I'll increase the size so people can see. So I go and get the Flickr ID or the URL. I'll just increase that so hopefully you guys can see it. And then go upload. And then share images from Flickr, and I put the URL in, get from Flickr. And then it takes a little while to upload. And I will also have to, I can't stand the fact that has that there. I will just pull that up. So it's uploading, but I'm going to have to rename it. You can't put an image like that there. So I'll just press continue, and then I have to rename it because I can't leave that there. So what I end up doing is I will go to this and I actually go to the BHL item number, which is the name of the thing, and BHL is going to take ages, so I'm just going to do that. And what plate was it? It was plate, does it tell me? XX1, okay. Go back to upload, paste, plate, XX1. And then I will copy that. Oh, look, it's got the information there. And it is expired because it was published before 1926. Because it was published in, I think, the 1780s, something like that. Category, I will actually use the category of, what was his name?
Moses Harris, I think.
Moses Harris. Because he's actually, oh, I hate that too. Moses Harris. Yep. And the date that it was published, I'm pretty sure it was 1780. Or there and thereabouts. I will just double check
that's
that.
Correct.
That's correct. Cool.
Yep.
Okay. Just double check that everything's looking okay, which it is. And then, so I then will go publish file. And it's taking me on to structured data, and it depicts. And of course, we wanted to say that it depicts the species. Got so many tabs open, it's ridiculous. So add that in, double checking that it is the correct species name with the V, not the U, and publish it. And then I would then suggest using this file right next to the original description, because that's the image that goes with the original description. So I've actually, where's mine? Is that mine? No, that's not mine. Somewhere along here in my sandbox, I've actually got a draft article that I'm starting as well on the species that I'm going to use in English Wikipedia. And I would actually edit source, and I can't remember whether I just used that. Copy, and I will put it in the just in the original description there. Publish. Hope it's not too big. Oh, it is. I forgot to do thumb. That's me being silly. We'll go back and edit source. I knew it looked wrong. That's the one I wanted. There. Is that right? Yes, thumb. Great. Actually, I'll show previews as to how that looks. So it normally comes on the right. I actually want it on the left because it's right by the description. So I'm actually going to go back and just edit left. Double check, show preview. There we go, that's a bit better. I've still got to add a lot more to this. Publish. And that's not live yet. This is just in my sandbox. I'll make it live later this afternoon. And that's me.
All right. Should I move the Wikimedia Commons category now?
Yes, please.
So let's see. I'll share my screen here. So right now it's under this synonym. And when moving things in Wikimedia Commons, it's a little bit trickier because we could move this category, but I think that will sort of bring along a few things because it's connected to this one. So I think I suggest right now that we create a new category.
Okay.
And then move the images separately.
Okay. And then would you turn this into a redirect afterwards?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That sounds great.
Also, since we're keeping the Wikidata item for the synonym.
Yes. Yes.
So we'll know that.
Yeah.
So then I have prepared here a little bit. I made the taxa navigation Wikidata info box, which of course in my previous say no Wikidata ID found because I haven't connected them yet. And then I have the top category here. So, and I just copy and pasted this taxa navigation from another species. So start just publishing this. And then I think I will add this to the Wikidata item to start with. So we, very slow. So we found this Wikidata ID. So I'll copy this. And this is the one.
Yeah.
And then we'll do both a commons cat here without prefix category and publish, whereas the site link for commons should have the category. There, found it. And hopefully now, if we reload this might take a few seconds sometimes. So we'll wait with
I normally refresh Wikidata as well. That sometimes works for me. I don't know whether it works for you.
Well, let's try it. And then come back here.
And sometimes it doesn't work.
Let's move the images now. So we'll see.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna copy this again, the category name. Go back to this one, and I use the tool for this Catalot, which is in your preferences as a gadget you can enable.
Yeah.
And you'll find it a small little yellow, very unsuspicious in the corner here, but it's a very powerful tool. So if you bring it up, you can search a little bit. So I'll enter the category name here for the new one that we just created. And we'll see it here. And now the trick here is I want to mark these, and I'll do that by just clicking somewhere near here, and it turn green. And all of this is somewhere on a description page, but it's a help page. And we want to move all of these.
Lovely.
And then we have here 3 buttons. The plus just adds the category. The minus just remove this category. And this move actually does both. It removes this category and adds the new one. So this is the one we're going to use. And if you're doing this and not moving everything, I recommend you to take a look, double check what you're actually doing, because when you click this button, everything happens very quickly. So I'll click this move now, and you'll see here, oh, it's 1. Oh, hold on, 14. So you don't have much
no way to go
chance
back.
to stop there. No. So of course, if you do something wrong, it's also very powerful to move it back again.
Yeah.
The same tool can be used. So it's very powerful. And now let's see if we actually succeeded here. So let's first see if they ended up. Oh, and here also the
Lovely.
Wikidata.
Look at that. Beautiful.
So now we only have the redirect from here. And I'm not sure if there's a specific synonym redirect, or if we just used ordinary
there
one.
is for English Wikipedia, but I don't know about Wikicommons. I've only just recently become brave enough to even consider doing this.
Mm-hmm. So we'll see. That should go in the entire top. Now I don't even remember the name of it. So let's see. So we'll go for template, redirect. Let's see if it says anything here.
No.
Category redirect. That's the one we want.
Yeah, that's probably it. Yeah.
Yes. So this is the one we want. So we'll borrow this, go back here, and add the new name. Let me just check this out. Show a preview. Hopefully a big purple box. Yes.
Nice.
And then I'm a little bit sure if we should remove this. Now I'll actually keep this since we still have the Wikidata item, and we'll see if we'll remove it later. So I'll save this. And hopefully now we're a little bit more sorted. But we should probably add an image to the Wikidata item.
Yep, but also if you refresh and the iNaturalist import button now shows up under the category.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Do you want to take it
created
further?
the correct.
Let's I'm happy to share. Will give me a second to put the right screen in front of the screen. So here
Yes.
we have it. So basically this is what you just showed. Now there is this button, and this is one of my favorite buttons now, because what it does, you push it, and here you have all the pictures in iNaturalist that have a proper license in my book. And I know I shouldn't use the word proper license, but I do.
You can import the one I observed.
Yes. Which one's that?
Second, third row, third and second.
These
First
two.
and second. Sorry, first and second.
This one, okay.
Those two.
Nice.
So
lovely.
We can now do upload image, and what it does, it fetches it points you to the Commons upload page, and I will be the uploader, but all the metadata is, so you see your name here and the original source, everything will be transferred to Commons. So that is, so now this is indeed in, and the second one is being this upload image.
The only thing I noticed that it doesn't do is it doesn't make structured data depicts.
No. We can do that, and if Jan has got a tool also installed on his categories and stuff, where you can actually do that in bulk. So if Jan wants to show that, that'd be great, because yes. I find that very powerful, especially for species articles where you're sure of what you're dealing with. I don't do it. I only tend to do it for the iNaturalist ones where they're curated, or specimens from natural history museums. But in this case, we can make an exception. I try and make sure that if I'm putting depicts statements on particular images, that it actually does depict the species. Sometimes people have uploaded from Flickr, for example, and it's just that person's opinion, and it hasn't gone through any sort of ways to make sure that what they're saying is correct.
Yeah, But this seems to be all correct. You see the characters.
Oh, they are.
Names.
This is quite a distinct fly. This is a very distinct fly. We're lucky. So I'm happy for you to. Yeah.
So the tool here is, I think it's just called the Sdc Tool, and it has a similar little button here in the bottom right. There's also the ACDC tool, which for a complete category like this is more or less the same, but I'll show the SDC tool. So it will ask, first pull in all the data, structured data that is already there, and there are bots running around adding a few things. And here we see it already have the depicts on the other ones. So this is interesting.
It's the old synonym.
Yep. And I think we should probably remove that one, shouldn't we?
Yeah.
This one points to the one with the U.
Yeah, that's wrong too.
Yes, so let's go this one and this one. And that was all. And now let's see. Is there a remove?
That's a good question. I have never removed a depict statement.
There's nothing to remove. All right. So instead, we'll start with doing all. I press the all button here and select all. And then we want to set the target item here. And it conveniently pulls in the category it's linked to, which is really good. So we'll press that button. And I think we also can say they are all quite prominent in this. So I'll check this little box. And then the powerful button here again will do, I guess now 15 or 16 edits quite quickly.
Yeah.
And then
Paul, I've put a link in the chat to that actual tool page so that if you want to install it yourself, hopefully it'll give you information on how to go about doing that if you want to go mad. Putting depict statements on species.
You can see it.
But if other people want to do it, you just have to go to the structured data on Commons page in Wikicommons, and it tells you how to go about it. It's down the bottom, there's a tool summary, and you just click on that.
Now we can see on this one, it will have here on the structured data, it'll have 2, so we'll remove this one.
Yeah.
Red, remove.
Yeah,
publish.
perfect.
And then there was another one.
With the other synonym.
Yeah, which was higher up here. No, where did you go?
It's the publicly there. It's in there, the up there, the second one from the top.
Ah, there we have it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we'll press edit and remove and publish. All right.
Cool.
So cleaned up some data there as well. I'm not sure how you close this one up like that. All right. Sometimes it's a little bit tricky. These two hide under each other. Maybe that is fixed now because now they are not. But I've had that trouble before. Andrew Lee learned the shortcuts to open them, keyboard shortcuts, so he could do it anyway. I haven't learned it, so I had some troubles there. All right, what do we have left to do?
I think a lot, but maybe we should call it a day. I think there are some comments. Let's check.
Vera said that the category direct is among the standard wiki text buttons, so that's the one we most commonly use. So I missed that. But that's a very good tip. And I was doing on Swedish Wikipedia, we had this one as a bot created article. I cleaned up what the bot did a little bit messy, but it's still a really short stub.
Yeah.
But now with lovely images. Because the bot couldn't pick them.
Nice. So I guess let's call it a day, and then offline we can focus. I can update the the Dutch one, the English one, and
yeah. Oh well, I'm planning on working on it this afternoon and try and get it all sorted. Yeah.
But I think it's awesome that we started with the Luxembourgish Wikipedia and not ended up doing the English one. So
yeah, I agree. Right.
And I actually think that given the Swedish and the Dutch one are so short, Luxembourgish Wikipedia that might be the biggest one now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Okay. Then I thank you for your time. And I really hope we can continue these edits because they're fun. And as also a shout out, if you feel like we should touch on a topic related to biodiversity that needs some cleaning, please reach out to us, and I'm happy to make that happen.
Cool. Thanks for organising this, Andra, and thanks for looking after us, Jan.
You're welcome. My pleasure.
And thanks, Paul, for joining us.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah, thanks for the invitation. It was great fun. I think I learned a few new things.
All right.
All right.
Bye.
Have a good rest of the day.
Bye.
Bye.